Hey guys, it's Savannah. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a trash to treasure DIY video, and it is also a mini hop with some amazing crafters. But before I talk about that, let's get started. All right, for our first trash to treasure DIY, I got this candle holder from the thrift store for $5, and I think it was on sale more than that. And I just thought it was so pretty. And at first I didn't like the flowers in it, but I wanted to spray paint this white. So I spray painted it in Rust-Oleum's Heirloom White, and then I take this upstairs. Now, again, at first, I really didn't like the florals in the middle. Maybe it's because it was just too much, but once I got at home and I started looking at them, I don't know, I just felt like they looked like old, not dead flowers, but they just look so pretty to me. So I do end up using them, but I don't use all of them. So once I get this upstairs and it's dry, I am taking my chip brush and some antique Waverly wax, and I'm just stressing all of these little spindles. Now these came out because in the bottom there was screws, so I just unscrewed these and it made it super easy to, like distress and do what I needed to do with this. So I'm just going over these, going on the whole thing, but mostly where the top is, where there's crevices, or where something, comes out more, just to give that more dimension and make those things really pop. So again, I'm just going on this other spindle, just dry brushing it until I get enough on there as I want. Now I am going to sand these down, but I wanted to distress first. So then I am taking the base and I am distressing this as well. And you'll see in a second, I get a little crazy. I put a lot, there you go. I put a lot on there, but no worries. You can always go back and fix stuff if you're distressing. And that's the fun thing about paint, and sometimes not even paint, just a sander in general. So I'm just distressing this, going on the corners, the sides, the middle, and I all want this to, look cohesive, but almost like it's old. Now I'm just taking my little finger sander, and a lot of people ask me where I get this. I get these from Walmart back in the paint section where the sanders are, but you can also order these on Amazon. Just type in mini yellow gator sander. So I'm just going through and I'm sanding all of these spindles down. I want it to almost look old and like the paint has chipped off a little bit. And once I started doing this, I was like, oh my gosh, I love this. This DIY is my favorite from today, or like trash to treasure. I'm obsessed with it. So then I just sand on the base, and you can see like where I did get a little crazy. It does all just end up blending out and looks really good towards the end. And you just want to make sure that you when you're sanding, get on the sides so that wood just starts pulling through. And I try to show you, but it looks so good in person, you guys. I love this. So again, I'm just standing on the sides. I know I just said that, but now I'm going to put this back together. But to put the screws in, I'm going to go downstairs because my baby was sleeping in the same room. So I'm just going to set these in and kind of show you how I style it. And then I just take, I think these things came with like 5 of these little things. There was 5 of those in there, but I just take one and I set that in the middle, and I think that's just perfect. And I love how this came out. So let me know what you think. Today's video is a trash to treasure hop. I am super excited to be working with all of these amazing DIYers. You guys know how hops work. So in my description box, there is going to be a link to the next person in the hop. Hop around, check all their stuff out, and see what they turned their trash into. Moving on to my second favorite. I love how this came out, but you guys, the footage of what this looked like before, I was not recording. And let me just tell you, it was horrible. It looked like it came out of your grandma's house. It had like 1776. My husband tried to give me a history quiz on what happened that year, so I'm gonna give you guys one. What happened that year? And so anyways, it was not cute. So I took this upstairs and I'm giving this a good coat of my Ivory Waverly chalk paint. Then I'm taking a small brush and some antique Waverly wax, and the best way I know to describe this is I'm basically just tracing the outline of this, you know, church or house, or obviously it's a church. I think it'd be a church. But I'm literally just taking a small paintbrush and some antique Waverly wax, and I am just going all around the outside of this church. Now, I want it to kind of frame this out, okay? And you guys are gonna look at this and be like, girl, what are you doing? But you have to trust the process. This comes out so cute, just the simplicity of it. I love it. So anyways, yeah, just take a small brush and I'm kind of just tracing around. Once I get to the sides, I go a little darker in some areas. Also, I wanted to tell you guys, I know in my last like thrift flip video, this is a trash to treasure, but you know, people's trash gets taken to the thrift store. So I feel like that's a thrift flip too. Anyways, you guys were asking about bread boxes. I know a lot of you guys have been looking. Now, I'm not sure if that box was actually a bread box, but I made it one. So you don't necessarily have to look for an actual bread box, but if you find a box that is cute and you think you can turn it into a bread box, I saw another one at the thrift store today. So I've seen 3 in under a week, okay? All right, and then I'm gonna show you guys this oopsie. It's not oopsie, it was like, oh girl, no. So I was like, oh, let's add some doors. So here I am adding some doors and I'm like, oh, it's going good. It's going good. It's looking cute. And I end up hating it. I'm like, oh my gosh, what? No. So I have to go back and sand over it and then repaint, but it all works out in the end. Then while my mistake was drying, I'm taking some black acrylic apple barrel paint and I am just going over where I just outlined with the wax, the Waverly Antique Wax. Now, I never really use black when I distress or, you know, do things, but I just felt like this gave it a lot more dimension, brought some more colors in there, and I really just liked the way it looked with the black. And I know you guys are sitting here thinking like, girl, what are you doing? But I promise it turns out so cute. So again, I'm just going over this, no rhyme or reason, going darker in some spots and kind of just dragging that brush in others. Then I'm taking my little chippy brush and I am going to distress the center of this. Now I want to do this before I do the next step because again, I feel like it all makes it blend in and looks, you know, looks well. And again, you can always see I always go heavy-handed with my distressing, and then I always end up going back either in with the first base coat or sanding it down. And because this was wood, I sanded it down. And you can see once you start sanding it, it all starts to like blend in, and then those outlines kind of blend in just a little bit, but they're still there. So I feel like this is starting to look really, really cute. Then I'm doing the sides as well with a bigger sander. This is a sander from the Dollar Tree, just to make some of that wood pop out on the sides. And then I'm taking some of this Dollar Tree berry garland and I am gonna make a wreath. So I'm just taking it and twisting it up until I get it as much as I like in a cute, like, you know, a good enough circle. And then I just kind of twist that off. And obviously we're gonna hot glue this down. Now I wanted this kind of towards the top, so it looked, I don't know, you know, like a wreath at the top of like a window, even though there is no window there. But I don't know, maybe I'm just simple and I love like simple farmhouse chic. I just love the simplicity of this. So then I wanted to distress a little bit with some of that black just to kind of pull all the colors through. So I'm just taking my chip brush and some of that black and I'm just dry brushing over the top of this as well, just to, you know, bring all the colors in together. Once I got it how I liked it, I then am gonna take my sander and go back over and blend all of that in. And then I wanted to add a little bow to the top. So I just took one strand of raffia, tied it in a bow, and then I always like to split my raffia. If you're new here, it's a way to make, you know, your raffia go a long way. So just take one strand. It's easier to work with when it's just one. Tie it, don't pull tight because you'll snap it, and then go back and just split your strands, you know, the little tails of your bow and then the little loops of your bow. And then I am going to hot glue this to the top of this wreath. And you guys, again, this is my second, I don't know, the first and this one are my favorites. I love this. I think it's so cute. So let me know what you guys think. If you are new to my channel, I'm Savannah and I love doing high-end Dollar Tree DIYs or honestly anything DIY on a budget. So if that's something you're into and you are enjoying today's video, I hope that you hit that subscribe button and stick around. Also, you guys know the drill. Liking, sharing, comment on my videos really does help my channel out, and it's because of all of you guys that I get to do this every day. Not every day, almost every day, but I would not be here without you guys, and I'm just so grateful for y'all. Moving on to our next trash to treasure, I found this at the thrift store. It is actually from IKEA, and I just love the bones of it. It did have glass in there, like, you know, right there, but it was super easy to take out. They were almost like picture frames. And then I took this outside and I spray painted it with the heirloom chalk paint, not chalk paint, by Rust-Oleum paint as well. Then once that was dry, I took this upstairs to my craft room and I'm taking my chip brush and some antique Waverly wax and I'm kind of just dabbing it on this. I want it to look, you know, rusted, like it's an old lantern. And I did want to leave the glass out of this. So this is a super simple DIY, you know, or flip or trash to treasure. You can find something and just give it a good coat of paint and make it look amazing. So again, I'm just taking the antique Waverly wax and I'm going, you know, on the design, on the raised spaces, on that little handle thing that you open it with, just to give it, you know, like more dimension and make it look more rustic, farmhouse, chic, you know, whatever you want to call it. And then honestly, that is it, you guys. I styled it with some greenery in there and a candle, and I think this is so cute. It will definitely be part of my decor, and I only spent like $2 on it. Now, moving on to our last trash to treasure DIY, I found these little candle holders and I thought these were so cute. I felt like they had good bones. I felt like there was potential with them. So I thought they were super cute. So I wanted to spray paint these black. So I used Rust-Oleum flat black. And then I take these upstairs. Now, not gonna lie, you guys, after I spray painted these, I kind of wish I would have done them in white. But I feel like I do everything white, so we're gonna go with a different color. So once I get them upstairs, I'm gonna start sanding them down, kind of like we did the candle holders. I want it to look almost like the paint has chipped on these and they are old. Again, I don't know if I said this already, I can't remember, but this is another super simple DIY. All this really needed was just some good paint because they already looked amazing the way that they were. And if you liked them the way that they were, totally cute too, you know. But anyways, I'm just going through sanding, getting that wood to come through, and yeah. Then I'm taking my chippy brush and some ivory white Waverly chalk. I don't know why I always do that. I always say ivory white. It's just ivory. So ivory Waverly chalk paint, and I am just going through and dry brushing on these two. I just wanted to give it, I don't know, a little more dimension, add a little bit of contrast in there. So I just dry brush all over both of them, everywhere, obviously. I don't know why I always say that, but you know, just dry brush over it. Everyone has, I feel like, their own technique to distressing. And if you're new here and you don't know how to distress and you have questions, you guys always comment down below, ask, I got you. I will try to explain the best way I can. I try to explain them in my videos, but you know, sometimes it's just easier to watch things. Then once I got as much distressing on there as I wanted, I did go back in and sand over it just to blend all of that in. And this did get a little messy. So once I was done, I, you know, wiped it down with a Clorox wipe. I'm not sure that that's relevant, but I did do that. And I think these turned out, again, it's super simple, but I think they're so cute. And I don't have tapered candles to put in here because my son broke all of them. So here's what they look like hanging up on my wall. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, leave a trash or a treasure emoji. And also, I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. It was just a little break from Dollar Tree DIYs. And be sure to check the next person out in the hop. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.